So again, I make sure that the rougher side is on top. I'm going to put them off up to the side, so hopefully I can use more of the Shrinky Dink later. And we are just going to trace out our Shrinky Dink. Easy peasy, simple. I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with the tracing and shading. I will show you a little bit, because how hard is it to trace and color? But so far, it's working. Give me a second and you will see the next step. Alright, so I'm done tracing and coloring, and this is how it's turned out. I'm not disappointed with it. It looks kind of good. A little bit lighter than what I was thinking, but hopefully as it shrinks down, it'll get a little bit more definition to it. And again, my problem was it was always too dark, so having it lighter is probably a good sign. After this, obviously the next step is to start cutting. Now I will tell you that you have to be very careful when cutting with Shrinky Dinks. I've tried with many of them going exactly over everything, and if you're not careful, it is going to split and crack through your design. So you don't want to go too much into detail. Like I'm not going to try to go in between his horns and cut that out, because that's when I get into cracking mode and breaking the plastic. And again, I'm not going to go into between his arms. Just going to be more of an outline of the creature. And we will be back after I go through all of that. We start that way. So this is him almost cut out and ready to go. You can see I left some on the bottom right there. On Amazon they sell little game pieces that for stand-ups. So Shrinky Dink him down and you can just stick it in there and stand it up. They hold cards. I don't have any of that, so I have to do a little bit of an extra step. You need to cut fairly large amount, because remember, as the Shrinky Dinks shrink, they get really thick as well.
That's what she said.
So I'm just cutting out a slit in his base. Oh no, man down. And then I'm going to just get an extra piece of plastic, Shrinky Dink, and make my own extra base.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble.
All you really need to do, that's kind of too big, is we are just making an extra stand for him. So right about in the middle, I'm going to mark the same size of the hole that I just created with a marker. Hopefully that still has marking in it. And the hope is, once this two pieces shrink down, they are going to slide in perfectly to hold them up.
hours later.
All right, this is what he looks like out of the oven and ready to play. I think he came out a little bit larger than what I was trying to go for. Math isn't my strongest suit. You'll have to play with that a couple times till you get the ones to learn shrink-a-deek ratio, how to get it to the sizes that you want. As you can see though, looks great. I can make out everything on him, understand the color changes, whereas the one I tried to do earlier with marker, not quite defined enough, I think. Other thing you gotta watch out for is because I did the coarse shrinking ink instead of the clear, when it does shrink, you do see all of the background that we did not cut out. I don't think that's a big deal, and it's definitely not a deal breaker for me. I also misjudged the gaps that I needed to make the base for him, but super glue fixes that. Overall, I think this came out very good, and I'm definitely going to start using colored pencils when making my extra pieces for my D&D night. Feel free to send pictures. Let us see your Shrink-a-Deek miniatures. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.